Greetings everyone, welcome to the channel. We are the Lion Gaming crew, and in this Diablo 3 build guide video, we're going to be taking a look at a brand new Crusader build here for our channel, and it is the Seeker of the Light, code-named Centurion. Now this build is available on all platforms, being PlayStation, Xbox, and Nintendo Switch consoles, and it is available in non-seasonal. It will be featured in our seasonal save files, which will be released this weekend, with the launch of Season 29 here in Diablo 3. So without any further ado, man, I would just want to say thank you, to each and every single one of you guys tuning into these videos, man. It really means a lot seeing the numbers that we've reached over the past year, man. We're almost at 2,000 subscribers here on YouTube, so if we could hit that, by the end of the year, that would be fantastic, man. But without any other further ado, man, let's get right on into this build guide. So, main weapon right here, codename Centurion. And yeah, man, this weapon is pretty potent. It's dealing 1,290,937.5 damage per second, with affixes that buff our damage, and we get percent damage and strength from the Chaldean's Despair rank 150. Other than that, though, it is socketed with 2 rubies and the Gem of Ease to give us 8,000 experience per kill, and it also has a couple of soul shard affixes on there, the ones that we know and love. When you kill an enemy, you deal the damage done by the death blow to all enemies within 25 yards. Pets and followers cannot trigger this effect. That's pretty standard on every single one of our pieces of weapons, I should say. After casting Falling Sword, you descend from the sky with 2 archangels that can cast Consecration and Condemn. That's pretty potent. Falling Sword isn't really going to be used too much during this build guide, but it is on our skill bar, so if you want to use it, by all means. And increase the attack speed of Blessed Hammer by 100%, which means we're just going to be able to spam those Blessed Hammers like insanely quick. Reduces cooldown of all skills by 56.9%, and it is a level 1 rare flail. Moving on to the gloves, the first piece of the Seeker of Light build. Now this is going to be a new theme for our massive update here for our non-seasonal builds. We're going to get rid of the Captain Crimsons and the other 2-piece and 3-piece set bonus like the All Guilds Authority and stuff like that, because we want to be able to have you guys have the freedom to put anything in that jewelry socket in the cube. So you know what? We just decided to put all 6 pieces of the sets, so that way it frees up that, like I said earlier, that jewelry socket in the cube so you can put whatever you want. But we do have the 6-piece set bonus, 2-piece and 4-piece. 6-piece set bonus, we're going to start at the bottom, work our way up to the top. Increase the damage of Blessed Hammer by 15,000% and Falling Sword by 1,000%. The 4-piece set bonus, you take 50% less damage for 8 seconds after landing with Falling Sword. And the 2-piece set bonus, every use of Blessed Hammer that hits an enemy reduces the cooldown of Falling Sword and provoke by 1 second. Now the affixes on this are going to be Strength, resist all elements, percent life, critical hit damage, and critical hit chance, life per hit, and increases wrath regen by 2 per second, and it also has that augment for 750 strength. On top of that, you're going to get 35% gold from monsters and 40,000 thorns damage, and killing an elite enemy reduces all your active cooldowns by 5 seconds, which is pretty nice. Moving on to the shoulders, same affixes here, just a slightly higher percent gold from monsters being 70% rather than 35%. Reduce cooldown of all skills is at 35.0%, and reduce all resource costs by 27.7%. Moving on to the chest piece. Same affixes, same percent gold from monsters, and the reduce all cooldown and the resource cost reduction are identical. So we're going to just move right on into the helm. Now this is socketed with Amethyst and the Red Soul Shard to give us a little bit more percent life, coming in at 111% exactly. And we also get life after each kill, about 17,000. And we also get 38,625 life from health potions and globes. You get 1,000 to all stats. You cast a devastating ring of fire after killing 100 enemies. After gaining a level, your resource costs are removed and cooldowns on skills are reduced by 75% for 30 seconds. And you periodically struggle for control, unleashing a ring of fire that inflicts 20,000% weapon damage to enemies it passes through. 41.5% on the reduced cooldown of all skills. 27.7% on the reduce all resource costs. For the amulet, we are picking up the PvP amulet, so it is going to buff all main stats. On top of that, we're going to get damage, cold, and fire damage. We're going to get vitality, 5,000, which is a pretty nice chunk of vitality there. We're going to get 75% increased attack speed, 125% life, 150% to critical hit damage, 10% to critical hit chance. You get 53,000 life per hit, 200% damage to all Crusader skills, 175% gold from monsters, 40,000 thorns damage, ignores durability loss. Consecutive hits to enemies increases attack speed by 3%, up to 30% for 3 seconds. Killing an elite pack increases move speed by 30% for 7 seconds. Picking up a health globe increases move speed by 40% for 7 seconds. And killing an enemy reduces the cooldown of Steed's charge by 1 second. On top of all of that stuff, we pretty much have a crap ton of those Season 25 Soul Shard affixes, like killing an elite enemy pulls all enemies within 40 yards to where the elite died, which is really nice to get a good AoE clear. Slaying enemies engulfs wielder into a frenzy. That's from the Echoing Fury legendary weapon. Reduce the remaining cooldown of one of your skills by 1 second when you slay an enemy. That is just really good. That's from the Mischievy Reviver. You guys know me if you've been on the channel for a while. You just know I suck with pronouncing things, so don't hold that against me, please. Each enemy hit by Falling Sword increases the damage of Blessed Hammer by 80% for 10 seconds of max 10 stacks. So that at max stacks, that's 800% increased damage. So if you do want to use Falling Sword, we have a lot of stuff on here that is going to synergize well with that skill. Gain the Long Arm of the Law passive and doubles the duration of Steed's charge, which is super duper nice. Moving on to the bracers. This is the first piece of gear that is going to feature that 75% magic item find, just allowing you to, farm for primals a little bit easier. Not going to say it's going to help you find primals on every drop, but it is going to increase the chances of a primal dropping. For the shield, we are picking up the codename Centurion shield breast. Same affixes as the bracers, with strength, resist all elements, percent life, all that good stuff. Blessed Hammer now crackles with energy, damaging enemies within 15 yards of its path. All runes but Dominion now throw the hammer in a direct path in front of the Crusader. And another buff to Blessed Hammer. Blessed Hammer's damage is increased by 250% for the first 3 enemies it hits, which is super nice. As you guys can see, we're tacking on as much synergy between Blessed Hammer and Falling Sword to fall in suit with that Seeker of the Light 6-piece and 4-piece set bonus, and also the 2-piece set bonus as well. For the first ring we're taking a look at here, this is the Test Ring 516 for Immortality. So you're never ever going to die while wearing this. It's got pretty much standard stuff that you want to see on all of our rings here on the Lion Gaming Crew YouTube channel, meaning 200% damage to all Crusader skills. You get life per wrath spent and increases wrath regen by 2 per second. And on top of that, golden health pickup radius is increased by 70 yards, which is pretty nice. It's not 100, but it does the job. And you get those increased movement speed and stuff like that as shown on the amulet, so that's pretty nice. And the rest of the bonuses here are just the legendary gems that are socketed into here. So we get 35% chance to inflict bleed for both weapon damage and 2,116 to 27,244 regular damage. Sorry about that. Both over 5 seconds. Taking a look here at the 1 billion physical skill damage ring. This one's pretty standard, same affixes. It does have that gold health pickup radius increased by 30 yards. Now I completely forgot. It's been a really long time since I actually built this set right here. I just never got around to releasing the YouTube video for it because life's been kind of crazy for me this year. So it's just I really do apologize about that, guys. I should have released this a long time ago. So I do hope you accept my sincerest apologies. Chance to deal 144% area damage on hit, just meaning, more AoE damage, which is great for this build. For the boots, pretty standard, although it does have that second 75% magic item find affix, bringing the grand total to 150%. For the pants, pretty much identical to all the other gear. It's got strength, resist all elements, and percent life. For the belt, this is the sash of knives. So with every attack, you throw a dagger at a nearby enemy for 650% weapon damage as physical. You are going to get the Holy Cause, Finery, and the Fervor passive as well, which is pretty fantastic, man. So jumping on into the skills, if you guys have been on the channel for a hot minute, then you guys know this is my favorite part of all the build guide videos. For our primary ability, we are picking up Smite with the rune Surge to increase the number of additional enemies hit. For our main damage dealing attack, well, we have 2 of them and I'll get into that in a minute, but we're picking up Blessed Hammer with the rune Limitless. For our second main damage dealing attack, we're picking up Fist of the Heavens with the rune Fissure. For our Conviction skill tree, we're picking up Accurate's Champion with the rune Hasteful, as well as the Falling Sword with the rune Rise Brothers. And for that mobility skill, in the utility skill tree, we're picking up Steed's Charge with the rune Endurance. For passives, we are picking up Righteousness, Blunt, Lord Commander, and Indestructible, with our cube powers being Dark Light, Illusionary Boots, and the Stone of Jordan. Touching on the follower, we are rocking the Enchantress with the Cosmic Setup, and here are the skills we chose: Temporal Pulse, Prophetic Harmony, Powered Shield, and Focused Mind. And the what is this thing called? The Enchantress Focus, we picked the one where your follower cannot die, which is crucial if you're going to want to push Greater Rift level 150s. Touching on the final numbers before we wrap this video up with some gameplay, we're dealing a massive amount of damage, 816 billion, which is pretty fantastic. 195% bonus damage to elites. Our attack speed increases at 21%, which means we're just going to be able to cast everything faster. Critical hit chance and critical hit damage both capped at their respective values. Area damage, like I said earlier, is at 144%. But guys, look at that cooldown reduction, 99.96%, which is actually insane. Because cooldown reduction in this game is multiplicative, so meaning every source of cooldown reduction you see on the gear is going to mean less and less, and we have it on every single item in our build, so hitting that great of a numbers is absolutely crazy. And physical, fire, lightning, holy damage are all at 1 billion because of the Stone of Jordan combined with the 1 billion physical scale damage ring. Moving on down into the defensive stats, our damage reduction is at 98.43%, with our resistances being relatively high at 88.44% across the board. Our Thorns damage is at 240,000, so that's pretty nice. Total life bonus is at 786%, with our life per second being 160,000. Life per kill, 17,000. Life per hit, 515,000. Life per wrath spent is merely 3,000, but it's still nice to have. Health Globe healing bonus at 38,000. Bonus to gold/globe radius at for 100 yards. Wrath cost reduction is at 99.75%, slightly lower than the cooldown reduction, but still high nonetheless. Movement speed is at 25%. Gold find is at over 1,000%. Magic item find is at 150%. And finally, bonus experience per kill set for 8,000. So with all of that gone over, let's go ahead and jump into a Greater Rift level 150 so we can showcase this build in action. So I am going to talk a little bit about how to rock this build, but it is super easy. If you're a beginner to Diablo 3, it's like your first time ever, you know, playing Diablo 3 or even watching my YouTube channel here, our YouTube channel, Lion Gaming Crew, then I would recommend this build to you because it is relatively easy. All you have to do, and if this is if you want the maximum speed and clear speeds on Greater Rifts, all you want to do is literally just use your mobility skill, which is Steed's Charge, ride around on your horse, and because of the affixes and bonuses we have, it is going to cast Fist of the Heavens like really rapidly and just basically do all of the hard work for you. So all you have to do is ride around on your horse and hit the pylons and shrines and stuff like that to spawn in enemy elite packs because of the Nemesis braces, which are featured on our Cosmic Enchantress followers. So yeah, it's really easy. There really isn't too much to it. This is just the speed variant of this build, and now you can slow things down a bit if you want to by casting your Falling Sword. But the only thing about Falling Sword is, yeah, it's really cool and I love it, but like the only use case I can really see for it is just killing, you know, the Greater Rift Guardian there with one hit. Other than that, though, if you want the maximum speed, I would, you know, I would use that skill, but you know, only for very specific scenarios, because the cast time for that skill is just, it's relatively high. It takes about 3 seconds from the point where you cast it to actually come down from the sky, so it does slow you down a bit, especially if you're trying to hit sub-minute rifts. So we'll go ahead and do another one here. We'll do 3 in total, so we'll do one more and then we'll do another one after that, just so you guys can kind of see the consistency that this build provides, man. And it is a very fun build nonetheless. And you can sit there and spam your you know, your hammers if you want to, your blessed hammer. I mean, look how fast those things are getting spawned in, man. It's just actually crazy. It's like if you come up on a pylon and you just want to have some fun, go ahead and sling some of those hammers out, man. It's like actually crazy because of the 100% increase to our attack speed from our shield and just our 22% increased attack speed from our gear and affixes and items. It means you're going to cast at 122% of the normal rate, which is just, it's so fantastic to watch how fast those hammers get flung out, man. It's actually crazy. But yeah, I like to play this build just riding around on the horse, watching my Fist of the Heavens just, you know, come down and lay heavenly fire to all of the demons here on screen. And like I said, you know, you can use Falling Sword or whatever. Any skill is really going to take out that Greater Rift Guardian, but it is kind of cool to come down from the sky and just, you know, hit them up with that Falling Sword to kind of to wrap up that rift, so to speak. So that was a pretty good run right there. We had a kind of a crappy rift spawn on that level 1, but the level 2 wasn't that bad at all. So we'll go ahead and do one more run for you guys, just to show you, you know, the clear speeds are pretty consistent, right around like a minute to a minute and a half. I have had some sub-minute runs like this one, you know, 58 seconds. But nothing too crazy. I just like this build because of the consistency that it puts out. You know, you run a rift, and you're pretty much going to get the same rift times as the prior runs. Like, it's not going to be, you know, like one like 2-minute run and then like a minute run, like a 58-second run. It's really consistent. That's a great thing that this build has going for it. And I kind of regret not putting this build guide out sooner, because I never realized the build's potential really that much, and until I got around to just sitting down and playing it and just being like, wow, this is a fantastic build. And I have no idea why I didn't release this build guide sooner, because it's a fun build to play. It's fantastic all around. It has great damage, really high mobility, and there isn't really a lot of downsides to this build. I mean, the Falling Sword part is kind of an iffy, but you know, you don't even have to use it, and that's kind of why I like this build, is because the main skill is, of course, going to be Falling Sword, but the option to use it is entirely yours. So, you know, you don't have to use it if you don't want to. The build's still going to be extremely viable without using the Falling Sword. So, final thoughts on this Seeker of the Light build. I think I would grade it a 4 out of 5. The only reason I'm not giving it a 5 out of 5 is because the Falling Sword just takes too long to cast. But other than that, though, I think this build is hitting all of the major areas. It's got great damage, high mobility, it's fun to play, so I rated it a 4 out of 5, and I hope you all let me know your thoughts and feedback down in that comment section down below, man. If you made it all the way till the end of this video, you're an absolute champion, and I really appreciate your support. So go ahead, join our Discord server, the link is in the description down below, and try out this build today. Let me know what you guys think. You know, like I said, either there down in the comment section down below, or even on Discord, let us know all your thoughts and feedback, man. Thank you all for watching. I really hope you all have a fantastic day, and I also really hope to catch you all in a future video coming out soon. Stay safe, stay happy, and last but not least, stay gaming. Lion Gaming Crew, signing out.